Assalamu alaikum. I hope you all are good. So, today I decided to talk about the topic sabr. Sabr is an Arabic word, and in Islam, it really has a good meaning. And basically, there are two parts of the faith. One is sabr, and the other is shukr. So, in Islam, these two have really big importance. Um, Today I received this heart. It is so cute. It's written by a child who is in grade 2. So after a long time, I went for substitution in one of my classes, one of the classes in my school. And there was a child who actually felt that my presence was important for her there. And then she wrote a little note for me. This activity was done by the older children and the younger children. The older children gave the cue a heart, and they were guiding the younger ones to write down a note for someone whom they love. I just went in their class today. It was a substitution day. One of the teacher was absent in that class, and after a leave, you would say, after a gap, I went into the classroom again. So uh, as I always train teachers, or whenever I do lectures for the teachers in the college, I always prepare them that whenever you go in the classroom with the children, keep your baggage, the baggage with all that is behind you, whatever you're bringing from home, just keep it outside the classroom. Hang it on a hook outside the classroom. It's just one of the techniques we teach teachers, the new teachers. I've been practicing this so much since now in these 23 years in my whole teaching life now. So I have started feeling that if I'm sick, if I'm not well, and I go to the classroom, honestly, I become well right away. Well, why? Because the children, the love that you get from the children is so beautiful that they change you from outside and inside. So this heart really touched me today. And when I was thinking and I was learning about what is sabr actually in faith, so Allah showed me the way. Allah said, go for substitution today in a classroom and then learn what is sabr. And then I was like, because I think like a teacher, right? So I am, and when I share experiences with the new upcoming teachers, like how you learn from the classroom experiences. So this is one of my experience from today. So this girl wrote the note for me because she thought I helped her in a way. And I'm not sure what was going on with her. She might be going through something. And now I could sense, because when at the end of the day I received this note, I was like, what's going on with the girl? And then I realized, yeah, she came up with a few things to me again and again, and she tried to convey me some meanings of what was going on in her life, in the classroom life, right? And I'm so thankful to Allah that He gave me the chance to enter in her world in a way and then make a difference in her life. So what has she wrote? Amna. Children call me Amna. Though my name is Musarat. Musarat is a little difficult for the children here, so Amna is easier, so they call me Amna. And Amna, by the way, is my name that my husband kept after the marriage. So, parents keep a name, but my husband has kept this name for me, Amna. So it's very important to me. So Amna, she writes, Amna, thank you for helping me. Ahabbik. Ahabbik is an Arabic word. She thought maybe I'm an Arab too. Though I could say I lived my whole childhood life in Dubai. So, of course, you do get something through the culture. So she writes, Ahabbik, enjoy Ramadan, inshallah. And then she also gave me a smiley note, and then she asked me if I'm coming tomorrow. But it's substitution, you never know, right? So whenever they call you, they call you. So how did I learn about Sabr? So this is going to be a classroom experience, and it might be a learning for many of you. What is Sabr? First of all, Sabr it teaches you, it teaches you some sort of satisfaction spiritually. You have to practice that. It comes from practice. It's not like right away there. In the beginning, you might not even see if you're going through a pain, but slowly and gradually, you're going to feel that, you have been consoled, you have been taken care, of course, by Almighty Allah, and then you start entering into that special period called sabr. I call it a special period because people go through a lot of pain, a lot of different pains, and the other people who are observing might not know what this person is going through. So it teaches you what is now sabr. It teaches you to remain spiritually steadfast and to keep doing good actions in the personal and collective domain, specifically when facing opposition or encountering problems, setbacks, or unexpected and unwanted results. It is patience in the face of all unexpected and unwanted outcomes. So I relate it to the scenario in the classroom. How is a Montessori classroom? A Montessori classroom is a mixed age environment. So today where I went was a mixed age environment. There were children from grade 1, 2, 3 all sitting together. So like older one helping the younger one, and the younger one seeking help from the older one. So it's a nice mixed age environment where teacher gives individual lessons, and then they take lessons, and then they start working on their own. So they become independent, slowly and gradually. She doesn't have to be with each and every child at the same time. She can give lesson to one and that child can continue, and then she can go to another child and give the lesson and that child can continue. Like this, the whole classroom works. Sometimes there are group lessons, like teacher might sit with the so sometimes there is the teacher sits with a small group and give a particular lesson, and then there would be children sitting in the whole classroom. She might go to some of them, maybe give an individual lesson, or maybe give a lesson in pair, or for 3 students in a time. So it all depends on how and what the children are doing in the classroom. I was there for observation and of course for helping. So I observed, isn't it just like the world? Like the mixed age environment is like the whole world. So Allah made this world, and there are people of different age group, people different countries, people from different cultures, and then they must be going through different kind of pains, because this life is all about test. There is not a single person who doesn't go through some kind of a test, and Allah, especially the ones whom he loves, chooses, right? So he selects them and then and put them in test, and then checks whether how would he react. And then if you are having that sabr, then definitely you're going to get all the benefits at the end, or very soon. The sabr period is also not very long, and for some, if it's long, then there is a good message for them that there is a reward after life. If you don't get something, a reward in the world, though for them there is always reward. It's never like, it's always a win-win situation for the people in sabr. So then I thought that the classroom is just like the world, and there are different age group people. And then how a teacher, so it's just a comparison to understand. So how a teacher goes from one child to another, and that child becomes special because she gives instructions that when I'm dealing with this child, you have to wait. And if she goes, sits with a group of students and she's giving a lesson, then the others have to wait. So that's the beauty about sabr. Have you heard in Allah ma sabrin? Allah is with the ones who does have that they are in the period of sabr. So Allah is with them. So this is what I figured out, that how contented you feel when you see that Allah is with you. So just like how those children would feel that, oh, this is my special time, I'm taking a lesson, the teacher is with me right now, and no one else can come near us and disturb us. So that is what is Allah doing with the people in sabr. Allah is with them, sometimes with a group. What's happening in the world around. If a country is suffering, that's a group for Allah. So together he's taking care of the whole group. And then would be individual people in individual homes, like, like one person or even a complete family in a group. So the only beautiful thing that I get to know here is Allah is the fantastic teacher who teaches us the essence of life. It's not the classroom learning, it's the life learning from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then he is preparing us by putting his important time on us while we are in that phase of sabr. So he's with us, and the other people have to understand that, do not touch them in this time period, do not disturb them in this time period, do not make the life difficult for them, because they are in the phase of sabr. And be kind to them, be patient to the ones who are in this period, and wait, because Allah is taking care of this person. So you can't do something not to just to say. It's just that people have to understand that sometimes we enter into someone's life and just give comments. Those comments are sometimes really harsh for the people who are observing the sabr. They might say, oh, your marriage, oh, it has been 6 years now, didn't you conceive yet? Things like that. So it's like you're touching their most sensitive area. So just be careful. Oh, you're not married yet, you are 38 and you're not married. These are things that you're touching in someone's life, and you do not even know how much you are going to be hurting their feelings. They are the people who are observing sabr. Mother who lost a baby, and you can ask, how did you lose the baby? This is like reminding the person again and again. So a person who loses job and is not going back on work, people coming and asking that, oh, have you started working? Although they might not know already that they are not working, but still they would ask, have you started to work again? So these are sentences which are painful, which are really, really painful, and you cannot ask the people who are observing sabr. You have to respect them. You have to understand their feeling. If you really love them, then let them take their own time. Please don't go after them. There are many painful situations that the people are facing in this world. Please don't bug them. I know a family who lost their baby after 9 years. Or they had a baby after 9 years, and when the child was 2 years, that family lost the baby. It is a devastating news. It's not easy to take in. It's not easy. But then people going, oh, he's not meeting us, he's not seeing us. This is painful. You have to give that person some space. You have to understand his feeling. If you cannot do good, please don't do bad as well. So going asking, oh, what had happened, is just bringing their pain again. A person who just lost a job, for example, and you say, oh, how are you doing? What do you think he's doing? Of course, he's suffering. So understand the people who are in the phase of sabr. But you know what? Do not get discouraged. Never get discouraged with what the people say around you, because you might not know their intentions as well. They might be asking out of love. That's, you have to think positive. You have to think positive that they might be feeling your pain. That's why they're coming to ask you. But I do understand the ones who are observing sabr, it's hard for them too. So it's just like for both the sides. I would say, yes, you can go check them, but try to ask things indirectly rather than asking direct questions. We don't want to make situations worse for them, right? We want them to come out of it. So maybe people who are really, really close, like, for example, a boss asking, oh, I fired you yesterday, how are you doing today? Oh, he cannot do that. right? So maybe a friend can go and ask like, oh, I think this happened to you. I'm so sorry, but I have a plan. I do have some places where I can direct you and you can find a job there. So, like the right person has to approach, not the person who actually was the source of pain. So that's the thing, okay? And especially they have to understand that Allah is with the people who are observing sabr. So you have to be careful because Allah is already taking care of them. And there is nothing more beautiful to know that Allah is taking care of them. Allah is giving that personal time to them, going to that individual student who needs the attention in the classroom. The teacher goes to that child. But Allah has such great powers that how many people are there in this world? And He can reach every single being wherever He wants to. He has that power. He will never leave you alone when your heart is broken. He will give you a feeling if you are in true positivity, if you forgive the ones who caused you pain, and if you have a positive feeling for everybody around you, because you have a soft heart, right? So if you have a soft heart and you think good about other people, so then Allah will take care of your heart. He has all the power. He's going to take care of your heart in such a way that even if it's the greatest pain, you won't feel it. You won't feel it. He can even change your heart. He can change others' heart for you. He can make others feel your pain, and someone might come and say something which you really, really wanted to hear. For example, all of a sudden, it could be anybody, even I. So if I'm going through something, and my brother calls that, oh, what's happening? And I'm like, oh my God, how did you know I was feeling this? It's from Allah's side. Allah sent those whom you love, and then and he brings in their heart that that person needs you right now. You should be going there. Take care of that person, because Allah is taking care. Allah is coming to you through other people. He is bringing those words to you. Sometimes you open up like I really admire people who are working in the field of Islam, and those who are doing the motivational speeches on the internet, because they're actually soothing those people. So it might be a day when you are not feeling well and you are feeling quite low, and you open up and something comes in the writing, maybe on Instagram or maybe on Facebook, and then you get to read it and you say, oh my God, how did He know that I'm going through this? This is Allah who brings those words in front of you. Isn't it beautiful to know? Okay, so now one more thing. So if you think that you can be rewarded after what you're going through, how would you feel? Like, for example, if I go in a classroom and I tell them to teach children that if you do this activity, we are going to go outside to play in the playground. How are the children going to feel? Of course, happy, delighted, right? So they're going to finish up their work quickly, and then they will walk with you outside happily to enjoy the outside time. So just imagine, I think it in this way, like again, I would say it's my view, but you certainly can use it to satisfy your inner self, and then be more patient in that special time of sabr. So what I think is, Allah rewards you. Allah rewards you beautifully when you go through this sabr phase. And of course, whatever good you do in this world, your parents are also rewarded because of your good deeds. So whenever I feel that pain and I want to recover, I always pray to Allah that whatever I'm going through, whenever I'm this sabr phase, please, as a reward, give it to my parents. Give it to my parents. And then, do you think He's already so close to me in that time period of sabr? Don't you think He's going to listen to me? Of course He will. And especially if you say these wordings, Arhamar Rahimeen, Arhamar Rahimeen, Arhamar Rahimeen, beautiful names of Allah, which He really, really likes. So whatever you ask at that time, in that phase, I'm smiling right now, but the people who go through, I do know. They they just might, you know, they just might cry the whole night being in that pain, and nobody would understand. For some people, it's so hard, they can't tell their friends, they can't tell their family, they can't tell their own parents, because for them that image is so important. So you might not even know who's going through what. So at that time, don't you think someone is listening to that person? Of course, Allah is there, Allah is listening. So this is just one last thing which I read somewhere in an article, and it was so beautiful. It just always takes me out of grief, or, out of sadness when I'm sad. I would read it, okay? So this is a grief conversation with Allah over a hot cup of a tea. A beautiful, it says Palestine version. So let's see what it says. Ya Allah, I can't make sense of what's going on. Now this is the verse. 2:30. I know what you do not. I just don't understand why this is happening. We will certainly test you with a touch of fear and famine and loss of property, life and crops. Give good news to those who patiently endure. 2:155. But how can I cope? Seek help through patience and prayer. 2:153. But how can anyone get away with this? Do not think that Allah is unaware of what the wrongdoers do. 14:42. Does the pain I feel mean my faith is weak? Even the messenger and the believers with him cried out, when will Allah's help come? Indeed, Allah's help is always near. 2:214. It always brings me out. And life is like this. We have to think positively. You are going to get a beautiful heart if you go through this time of pain right now. And Allah will protect you. Honestly, who's running the whole world, He is going to protect you. He is going to bring you out of that time period of sorrow, sad, whatever you're going through. And honestly, none of us is protected by that phase. Each one of us on this world, whether a Muslim or a non-Muslim, goes through this. It's just that Muslims are quite blessed because they understand the concept of sabr and thankfulness, and of course the presence of Allah they can feel. Okay, thank you so much. I'm going to see you in the next lecture. Take care of yourself. Please remember me in your prayers, and I'm also going to remember you all. May Allah bless all the people on this world, bring peace, love, and of course, everybody live a happy life in their houses. Take care of your families. Family is important. So take care of the family members, whoever is around you. Just take care of them. Allah will take care of you. Thank you so much.